Hi guys, it's Bella and welcome to Beauty on a Budget. And as I said Tuesday, I wanted to have one of my little chats with you today. And I was thinking about stressing over the small stuff. I think we all do it, don't we? I think we all, our own problems and our own concerns and worries. To someone else you might think, well, why on earth are they worried about that? But we know our hearts and our feelings, don't we? We know why we have concerns and what makes us stressful. So how do you choose not to stress over the small stuff? And what is the small stuff? Like I said, one man's small stuff might be another man's enormous. I think lessons in life really teach us about stressing over the small stuff. I've done it. I have been absolutely 100% guilty of it. And then sometimes things come along, don't you? And they sort of kick you into touch as far as what you should worry about and what you shouldn't. And you learn, I guess, somewhat. You learn over the years that, you know, what you're stressing over and is it worth it? And you ask yourself why you're stressing and what can the stress achieve. But sometimes even if you ask yourself that, it's too deep, it's too stressful, and you can't reason with yourself. Yes, the reason is however much you worry, however much you're stressed, you know, it's not going to change the outcome of whatever you're stressing over. But it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. So, the smaller stuff. What do I mean by the smaller stuff? And what should you ask yourself if you're stressed about the smaller stuff? Well, for me, I try to think myself. Since, you know, for the last few years things haven't been very affluent for me and Beth, we're comfortable in the sense that we've got a nice home and you know, I never have to worry about paying bills. I've always got my bills paid and there's always plenty of food and warmth and all the things, but there's not a lot of funny money. And that can concern me sometimes, you know. I just wish we had a little bit more funny money. And, you know, if you're going out or someone's asked you out and you think to yourself, well, they've seen me in that dress before and oh, I can't wear that because they've seen me in that and, you know, I've worn that before and I've been guilty of that, you know, I've been guilty of that. But I've kind of learnt to look at it in a different way now. I mean, this is just a for instance, one little for instance about stressing over the smaller stuff. If I go out to someone's house and I'm worried about them seeing me in the dress I've worn or the same makeup or same coat or whatever, and I'm really, really concerned about that, maybe I shouldn't be so worried about what I'm wearing or what my dress is. Maybe I should be more concerned about the people I'm going to dinner with, because if you're a real friend, if you're going somewhere that people care for you, nobody's going to notice what dress you've got on or if you've had it on before. And if someone is going to judge you for that, if someone is going to say, oh, she had that dress on last time, do you really want to mix with those type of people? Do you really want to be with those type of people? Because I know I don't. Yeah, there's places you go. Of course, you can't go everywhere with really close friends. You can go places that, you know, majority of people are practically strangers to you, of course. Then, does their opinion on your dress really matter? As long as you're smart and clean and very well presented, does it really matter what they're thinking, if they've seen the dress before? Or is it worth the stress? Is it worth the worry of, oh, I can't look like that, oh, I can't have that, you know? It's not. To me, that's just the small stuff. But that doesn't mean I've never been, capable of it, because I've done that. I've done that lots of times. And worrying over things, unnecessary things as well. But at the time, sometimes they seem so necessary, and sometimes you need like a kickstart to make you see, my goodness, that was ridiculous. I think I've told you before. I'm not sure if I did, but I've got a friend from years ago. We've lost touch now, actually. We lived different parts of the country, and he was more of an acquaintance, really, and his wife. And they were sort of in our group at the time, long time ago when I was with my ex-husband. And I remember being at a party, and a guy there, the man who was having the party, who was another sort of part of our group, was getting a new sideboard. And the other guy that I originally spoke of, he was very affluent. He'd built his business up himself, and he was very, very successful, as was his wife. They had 2 businesses and beautiful home, and absolutely successful. But we were all at this party. Anyway, the guy that was having the party was getting this sideboard, and he was so excited about it. And he was saying, oh, I've waited for ages, and we saved up for about 3 years for this, and talking about it and how good it was and how happy he was to be getting it, and showing the place where he was going to put it. And I saw the other guy just sort of looking, and I said, what's up, you okay? And he said, you know what, I've forgotten what it's like to have that joy. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, it's so long since I've really, really wanted something and not been able to have it. I've forgotten the joy of what it's like when you actually get it. And it made so much sense to me. That made so much sense to me. And since then, I've often thought of that, and how that must feel, because it's changed me a lot as well, and it's sort of one of the little lessons that I've had in my life, and it can happen all the time, And for me, it's makeup. Of course, it's makeup. Can you imagine? And I got some matte lipsticks as a present, and you would have thought that someone had bought me the entire MAC shop. Because I was so thrilled. I was so thrilled to have these lipsticks. And I was thinking, well, what a lovely feeling that is, to get that joy over just a couple of things like that. It makes you appreciate it, and it makes you really enjoy it. And I don't stress that I can't have things, that I would like all the time, because when I can, they just make me really happy, and I'm really pleased to have them. What do I mean by lessons? There's something Baz and I dealt with a lot last year. We had quite a lot to deal with. And there's not, some of it I can't get to bring myself to talk about it even now. I'm sure I will one day talk about it with you guys, but at the moment I can't. But there was something that happened as well. I have 2 daughters, and my youngest daughter is 34 she was at the time. She has 2 little children, my little grandchildren. One is 2 now, one is 5. And she phoned me up one day and she said to me, Mum, I said, what? She said, I've got like a big dimple in my breast. Well, I just couldn't breathe. I know this sounds, and of course, your main thought is, okay, be sensible for her, show her there's nothing to worry about, because the protection of her is the main thing in your mind. But inside, oh my goodness. Well, it was 11 days. She went to the doctors immediately. It was 11 days before she had the scan. And those 11 days were probably the worst 11 days of my life. Honestly, different things that I've been through in my life, I can't think of anything that I was more afraid of than that. And I didn't cry, because all the thoughts were, I've got to be there to protect, I've got to be there to protect her, to protect my grandchildren, what can I do? You know, that's the rational side that you're trying to put out. And then when she phoned me, it was Tuesday morning, she phoned me and she said, it's okay, Mum, it's nothing. She said, it's just where I breastfed the children for so long, it's just, you know. Oh my goodness. I cried for hours because it just all come out. It was like a huge release. I've never been so thankful. I've never thanked God so much. But it really taught me, it was a big lesson of, you know, what does it matter? What does it matter if I can't have a holiday this year? What does it matter? You know, it really brought home to me. Now, to worry about those things yourself, you know, really bad health issues for yourself is awful. But to worry about it for a child it's just unbelievable. And I know that must be many, many of you that have had incidents like that, and incidences where the results are much worse, where, you know, you've lost someone really close, or you've lost a child, and it's, you know, that's the stuff. If you stress or you feel, you know, it makes the other stuff just look so insignificant, doesn't it? It just makes it look, it doesn't matter at all. And, you know, we've got some lovely ladies on here and our friends that have really suffered in a lot of ways, are going through a lot now. And I know, you know, our Susie Q, she had an enormous loss that obviously is unbelievably heartbreaking, and it's taken her years, and will take her probably for the rest of her life to get over. If she won't get over it, she won't. But when you think about the stupid things, and I'm sorry, but they are really silly things that we get ourselves in such a tizzy about, and they just don't count. They really, really don't count. We're a very close community here, aren't we? And I've always said 100 times over, I'm so happy to be part of that. And when I look what our Sheila has been through, and what she's going through, and trying to get better, and staying positive, and, you know, still coming on and still helping, and, you know, my goodness, I so admire her. And my beautiful, beautiful Jerry, who I just absolutely adore. You know, she comes on, she makes her videos, and she's going through such a worrying time. And you just think, you know, I've looked at Jerry, I love her to bits, as I do Sheila. And, you know, before this happened, she was going through this hurdle in her life, and I would think, oh Jerry, I wish I could have that dream. Oh Jerry, I wish I could buy that, you know. And then something like this happens, and you really get kicked into touch. You do. You really realise what matters and what absolutely does not matter. So try and, you know, for the advice that I could give, for what even my advice is worth, is look at what you're worrying about. Look what matters. If you are stressed about what other people will think, if you're worried about, and it's causing you worry about what other people think, or other people's opinion of you, or, you know, your concerns about that, just think about those people, because the people that matter, the people that really count, wouldn't criticise you. They wouldn't put you down. Friends don't do that. So really think, you know, I've really learnt a lot, particularly in the last year. I've really learnt a lot about, you know, what stresses me and what... I'm not saying I still don't get stressed, because I do. I'm just that type of person. But, you know, not over trivial little things. I mean, my children came up last weekend to see me, and you know, all the way she drives, my daughter drives with the two little ones in the back, you know, in their seats, and all the way up I'm thinking, please be safe, you know, don't get safe on those motorways and things like that. I mean, that's just normal, isn't it? That's normal sort of concerns and, you know, worries over, it's not great worries, but little concerns over the people we love, and that's natural and that's right. Because that shows we have a heart, and we should worry about those things. But we shouldn't worry over other people's opinions of us, what we wear, what we look like. You know, we shouldn't be doing this for our age, we shouldn't be doing that for our age. Is this appropriate? Are people going to talk about me? Who cares? It's just, who cares? It just doesn't matter one little bit. And I've got a lot more peace of mind, and my life has become a lot calmer since I've learnt to do that, to really worry and put my concerns into the people that deserve concern, and not over the people that don't. I hope that makes sense to you guys, and I know I've been really serious today, haven't I? But I just hope it makes sense to you. I hope you understand where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to say. Because I am a beauty channel. I'm mainly a beauty channel, you know that, and my shopping and different things and tips that I can give you and we chat about. But I just wanted to share that with you, because I do these little talks from time to time, don't I? So just wanted to share that with you, because it's just kind of how I feel, and I think a lot of that adds to our beauty. I think a lot of inside feelings and bitterness and anger and all the other things, I think, and worry and concern and stressing over trivial matters, I think it adds to what we look like. And because we're calmer if we don't do that. And yes, we're always going to have worries, we're always going to have concerns. I'm always going to tear my hair out of things, because that's just me. But I'm really, really careful what I tear my hair out about now. And it's not over trivial stuff anymore, you know, it's not. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some sort of advice from it, because, you know, I'm not an agony aunt. But I just wanted to share with you, really, to see different things we have in our life that, you know, make us the people that we are. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I will be back again on Tuesday, and we'll have something a little more light-hearted, I think, to you. I'll see you Tuesday. You have a lovely weekend, guys, and you take care of yourselves. You know I love you all. Bye now. Bye.